In this video, I will show you how we can lower a model kit from AMT. So usually model kits stock height, they're pretty high, not really exactly how you want in a sports car. You want it a little lowered, a little stanced, wheels a little tucked in. Okay, usually it's pretty high, and I'll show you pictures of how this car is, how high it is when it's dry fit put together. So I will show you some of the steps I took. What's tricky about lowering every kit is different, every manufacturer is different, probably the different cars are different, but the way the suspension and the wheels are set up are pretty much all different. So you got to figure out how you can keep most of the chassis components intact without looking not right, and also keep the disc brakes looking right in relation to the wheel, so you can't really move those. But you got to figure out what you can do to modify some of the chassis and the suspension components to lower the car, raise the wheel up, and keep as much intact as you can. So I'll show you what I did on this kit. Here's a test fit of the rear wheels. As you can see, there's a big gap here. It's about 4 millimeters. We're gonna have to lower that suspension somehow. I'm gonna test the front wheels and then go from there. Here's the mock-up of its ride height. Kind of put the pieces together here. Test fit. Now everything is glued in. And as you can see, you know, it might look like the height of a toy, the stance of a toy, but actually even the Hot Wheels is lower than it. And we can tell that I'm gonna have to try to lower this about at least 3 millimeters. Normally this is how the wheel sits in, the suspension. See that big gap? I'm gonna try to take it up and fit it underneath and figure out a way to cut a notch in here so it will fit underneath here. This arm would fit inside this wheel, tucked in. I'm going to try to cut a notch right below here. That way this arm can fit right into that notch. I'm also going to skinny this up so it can fit better inside this little notch that I cut out. Right now it's too wide, but I can't break it. Oh, I think I almost broke it. For the back, see how high this is? See how high this piece is? See, this is pretty high. So I'm gonna drill a hole so that way this can go through higher into the chassis, and then trim down this side here so it can go higher up. So this can go higher up with no gap. Okay, since I have these holes in now, the wheel, suspension of the wheel, this stud can go farther up. So hopefully being able to lower this wheel, or raise the wheel, lower the car. Okay, like that. And what I'll do is to help with this movement, so there's more play in it. I'm going to trim some of this plastic on top of this post. Trim it so actually it can be pushed up farther. I have to cut a little divot on the inside lower or higher, so this little divot can sit inside of it. You know what? I'm going to cut also out here the edge of the support here, of the shock support, because this has to fit in. There's a lip here. And I'm also going to cut out this little notch. This little notch is in the way. Okay, so I finally got it. That stud came through a little. Now the wheel, see there's no gap. See that? And it fits way in there. I don't really need to measure. It's touching the wheel well. Touching the wheel well. Here are the results. Looks pretty good. I will show you some video. A lot better than before. A lot better. So before you log off, I want to thank you for all the new subscribers. I greatly appreciate it, and I would say keep watching, because if you want to see the rest of my build for this car, where I turn it into, make it look like this Hot Wheels, see, I will try to do that. So if you subscribe, you can keep updated with my progress on this build as I paint and build it up to make it more or less match my Hot Wheels. Thanks a lot.